Welcome to Shine.fm's A Closer Look podcast, going a little deeper into the hearts and lives of the artists you hear on Shine.fm. So I have Blanca with me here today. Thank you for taking some time this morning to answer some questions. And
it is my pleasure. I've been looking for things to do in this current time.
Well, I have to say, I was so excited because do you remember playing an event with Group 1 crew? It was Acquire the Fire.
Yes.
Okay, I was there and I got a picture with you guys, got your CD with my sister. It was so cool.
Man. Good old days.
Yes. So where's home for you?
I live in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
I've been here basically my whole life. I was born in New York, but moved to Orlando when I was just a baby. So This is definitely my current home, but has been home for a very long time.
Gotcha. So are you in a shelter in place kind of a thing right now?
Yes, we have a shelter in place going. It's been going probably for the last week and a half. And then we have a curfew as well at night. And so I have my 6-year-old son, and my best friend came in from Nashville. And so she's been here for the last month with me. And so with that, we're kind of just trying to keep my son occupied because he's schooling and he wants to see his friends and he's bored. So I have my hands full for sure.
So how are you navigating this time with London? Like, how are you keeping him entertained? What are you doing? Creative, fun activities, anything like that?
I'm very grateful that the current time, like in Florida right now, is pretty warm. So I know you're in Chicago, right? So I don't know if it's the same. I'm like, I feel so bad for people that, it's snowing in some places or it's really cold. But here, the weather's been holding up pretty nicely. It rains here and there, but it's nice. So we have a pool out back and he loves to get in the pool. We go on scavenger hunts outside and find bugs and trees and leaves and all these fun things. And he learned to ride his bike without training during the time too. So there's been some bonuses due to this COVID-19 situation. So we like to go outside as much as possible since we're always indoors. So I've been stocking up on bubble makers and pool toys, chalk, all the things I can find for outdoor activities.
Now, has he brought up any questions about this time? And how are you answering those questions for a 6-year-old little boy? How do you say, I don't know when you can see your friends again. I don't know when you can go back to school. So how are you handling those conversations?
It's been kind of difficult because they don't fully understand what's going on. We've talked about just viruses in general and, that there's a big virus going around and it's getting a lot of people sick. So the school thought it would be best for everyone to just do school from home. And I think as of now, he's been pretty chill because I travel a lot for work. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's been almost a bonus for him to have quality time at home and feel like things are kind of consistent for the time being. But there are moments where he's like, Mom, you're great as a teacher, but I miss my class. I miss my teacher. So we're trying the best we can. And his teacher's been great. She's done some Zoom calls where all the kids are able to log in and see each other and say hi. And you just find kind of creative ways to stay connected.
So tell me about the little parade that you got to do for his teacher. Was that pretty special?
It was a surprise. So I didn't tell him what was happening until right in the moment. I made a little sign with his teacher's name, and all the teachers at his elementary school got together and did a caravan where they went through every single neighborhood that with the school zone. And they gave us a map of we're starting at this time and this is where we should be, according to your area on the map. And it was so fun. We waited in our corner with, of course, social distancing. We kept our 6 feet from every other, person out. And he's like, what's happening? I don't understand. What's going on? And then I gave him the sign and it said, we miss you, Mrs. Wozniak. So he knew he was going to see her in some form. And then the parade of cars started and they were honking and teachers were out the window. And it was I got emotional. I definitely teared up just to see how the community comes together in these times to just try to make it work for everybody.
Mm-hmm. definitely. All right, so let's talk about Shattered. That's the song we've started playing. And so I know that was a song with a lot of your healing process when it come to when you lost your mom. So, especially like that healing process to now like a song that's many people are relating to now. Just tell me about like what it means to have these two different dynamics.
It's so crazy to me. I feel like, honestly, these are the moments where I'm like, that's exactly how God works. I wrote that song over probably 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. And it was during a very hard time for me. I went through the loss of my mom, who had cancer, breast cancer. And after kind of a difficult few months, she passed away. And so I knew that as much as the pain was very hard for me to talk about, that it was part of the healing process. And I needed to find a way to just let it out. And it became kind of an anthem for me to like help me articulate kind of the emotions that I was feeling during that time. Now, fast forward, number one, I'm able to listen back to that song. And it's almost like it's such a beautiful memory, I think, of my mother, because it lets me capture the moments that I felt in that time. When I listen to the lyrics and I listen to the song, I can remember how I felt in that moment. But now, given just a lot of things that have happened in my life over the course of the last few years and this COVID-19 situation, loss can come in different forms. And I think we're all kind of we're grieving something. It's like life isn't what it was maybe a few months ago. And so I feel like it's beautiful to see how God can use a song that was meant for healing for me in a certain time of my life to now be kind of an anthem for so many going through loss of a different kind.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think it's a beautiful song. And so it's definitely, I even just looking at your Instagram, seeing how people have responded to it as well. I think it's definitely super timely. But, what are you doing to make sure as you're pouring into your family, how you are staying encouraged?
Oh, yes. I think, believe it or not, like I'm trying to find the good. I feel like that's what the Bible says, right? Like he works all things together for the good. Like even in hardship, even in like trauma, even in hard times, like God can work it for the good. And I'm definitely seeing that right now. A lot has changed for me, and I'm not, tours have been canceled, shows have been canceled. I'm not out on the road as much as I was, but it's given me a time of refreshment as well. Like to reevaluate my life. And there's been a lot of moments where I felt kind of empty, like just pouring out so much, but I haven't had the time to like pour into myself and find myself. And so it's been good to like just reconnect myself with the Lord and have accountability. I have my best friend here. We do teachings together. Like we'll mirror my phone and put it up on our TV, and just like take notes. And I have like a women's circle where it's like a few friends that we kind of keep each other accountable during this time. I'm trying to read books. And so those are the things that have been almost like very peaceful for me, is just having the time to pour into myself.
Yeah. Awesome. So has there been anything specific? I know you said this has been a lot of like refreshing time for you. So has that been like the big thing that you've been learning for yourself during this time?
Yeah, I think, and I don't want it to be insensitive, because I know that it hasn't been the most refreshing time for others out there that have lost jobs or are having to take care of multiple kids at home. And, but I think it is needed for us, because there's a lot of fear that can step in, and I'm definitely prone to go to anxiety and fear. That's just my personality. So the flip side is, I've technically lost my job in a sense. Like I'm not doing things. I'm financially, you start fearing the future, or what is it going to mean for my child? He's not finishing school with the rest of his class. Like all these big changes are happening, right? But I think it's necessary for us to find just the good and like we woke up today, we have air in our lungs, we are breathing, we are alive. Not everyone has that opportunity. So what can we make with this, with what we have been given? And so for me, it has been refreshment, saying, I may not be out, but I have time. What am I going to do with that time? So it's definitely been kind of staying grateful and thankful. And those have been my main two like words. If I could sum up where I'm in right now, it's like staying thankful, staying in a position of just gratitude and thankfulness for what God has done already.
For sure. All right. If you could say something to encourage one listener right now, what would you say?
Oh, I feel like I've said so much already. Hopefully there's something in there that you can take from it. But if I were to encourage a listener, I'm going to just pull from my current situation. Know that it's okay to have emotion, to feel, to be scared a little bit, to be angry, whatever it is. Like, I believe that God is not intimidated by our emotions and our feelings. He doesn't want us to be led by them, but he definitely wants to be a part of them. And so I would encourage you to be honest with the Lord on where you're at, what you're feeling, talk it out. Like any relationship, it requires you to be vulnerable and to be honest. So whatever you may be going through, whatever you may be feeling in the moment, if it's a mother, you're out there, you feel overwhelmed, you have all your kiddos at home and you're just worried about the future. I get it. And God gets it. So talk it out with him and be honest with where you're at. And I believe that he'll meet you in that place.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is so awesome. I mean, I actually did my hair and makeup. Just so you know, even though you're listening, I did my hair and makeup for the first time in a long time. So this is my second time during COVID-19 that I've actually done my makeup.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And praying for you guys. Stay healthy. Keep anxiety down.
Yes.
And we'll have to re-talk on the other side of this.
Thanks for listening to A Closer Look. For more content like this, subscribe to the Shine.fm podcast channel from Olivet Nazarene University.